Simply put, you've covered LeBron James for now, I'm going to call it like 20 years, since 1999. Many know your story, from high school to the Cavs, to the Heat, to the Cavs, and now the Lakers. You have seen this story develop. Basically, probably had a better front row seat to this than almost anybody else has had in the media. And now the crescendo moment of Los Angeles. Put this all into perspective, your time with LeBron, with this being the capper.
Well, Zubin, I think that he's changed over the years. He's not the same person he was even 4 years ago. And I think you have to look at this with that he was in different stages of his life. I mean, there was one point when he was in high school where he had no interest in playing in Cleveland. He thought it was way going to be a terrible fit for him. So he just evolves like all of us do. And, when he went to Miami in 2010, I really felt like that was a basketball decision. He felt like he had to go down there to win. When he came back to Cleveland in 2014, I felt like it was an emotional decision. He was really trying to come back and make something right, and it did really mean something for him to try to get a championship to Cleveland. And I really do think he genuinely believed he was going to finish his career in Cleveland. At this point, especially with where he's at and his options, and I don't think we can just gloss over his options. I don't think he really had a perfect set of circumstances here. So he had to prioritize. And I think this was a mix of a business and family decision. I think from a business standpoint, he comes to Los Angeles where he gets great opportunities to expand his media empire, which, since he moved to Cleveland back in 2014, has expanded dramatically. He has a dozen or so shows that he's executive producing. He has movie plans, movie projects. He has his own social media network. He obviously will be able to expand that here in Los Angeles. And I think his family, I do believe that Savannah, his wife, was a driving force. Even though she's from Akron and loves living in Akron and loves that her family is from there, I do think, from what sources have told me, that Savannah had an interest in moving here to Los Angeles. Over the last 6 months, the home that they bought, their second home that they bought here, has been under renovation. She has been overseeing that renovation. They're essentially setting up their dream home here. And I don't think that it was decided 6 months ago. I just think that they knew at some point they were going to spend a lot more time here. And so I think that those factors played into it. It's not just about what the Lakers have on their roster today, like it was for the Miami Heat in 2010. It's a much more multifaceted decision, and I think it represents a much more multifaceted person as we've seen develop over the last 15 years in the NBA.
No question about that. I think we spend our time on SportsCenter, sports fans, on the app, social media. We just think about these guys as players. We've got to remember these guys are people. LeBron is a 33-year-old father of three. Last thing, just it splashed across the screen, and it might not catch the attention of a lot of fans. It certainly did not to me until Woj explained this. So take me inside why the 4 years is so important. The money is the money, but why is the 4 years something so many people like yourself are honing in on?
Well, I think this just sort of goes back to where LeBron's trust level was with Dan Gilbert, if you want the dead honest answer, because he only signed a 3-year. When Dan Gilbert bought the team, LeBron was on a 4-year contract. He signed, like every rookie, he signed that coming out of the gates. He took it when he was 18. There was no other option for him to go. His first contract that he signed with the Cavs and Dan Gilbert was a 3-year extension. Was at the time revolutionized the way guys looked at doing their extensions. Nobody had ever done that before on a max level. Then when he went to Miami, he took a 6-year deal that had an opt-out after 4. So he committed to the Heat for 4 years, and that's how long he was there. Then he came back and did 3 more deals with the Cavs. So in total, 4 contracts done with Dan Gilbert. 2 1-year deals and 1 2-year deal. He basically never committed to Dan Gilbert and the Cavs for longer than 3 seasons. And now here he is again going away from Cleveland, committing. It's a 3-year deal plus a player option. So he's committing for 3 years. But the concept is that he is not going anywhere anytime soon. That the Lakers do not have to feel the pressure to add Kawhi Leonard or add anybody else. He's giving the Lakers, who he has no relationship with. He's obviously spent time with Magic Johnson and Jeannie Buss before. He knows them, but he doesn't have a relationship with them. Mm-hmm. He's giving them a way more rope than he gave his hometown team, the Cavaliers, and certainly more rope than he gave them after they won a championship in 2016. After they won that title, he said, okay, we won the title. I'll give you 2 years and not just one. So to me, it's a commentary on what LeBron is looking at here, which is a much more wide angle situation, and the fact that he's going to put down roots. And secondly, it's a reminder of how he kind of looked at the Cavs organization and the trust level, frankly, that I think he had with Dan Gilbert, comparing it to what he had in Miami and now here in Los Angeles.